as you might remember, we had Howie D from the Backstreet Boys here in studio on Friday. While a lot of us were growing up with the Backstreet Boys, they were doing some growing up too. All of the guys are dads now, and it was fatherhood that inspired Howie to write a family-friendly album, which he talked about with us on the show.
Yeah, and Howie was so generous with his time that he sat down with us after Friday's live interview to talk to me about his upcoming musical, which is debuting in Nebraska in just a few months. Tell me about this play. You're debuting it in the Midwest, which is so exciting for us here. How is it connected to the album, and what is the story about?
Yes, actually the play is called Howie D Back in the Days, and it's loosely based upon a boy finding his identity. And we kind of stumbled upon it as we were writing the record about 5 years ago. And as we were writing it, we were like, wow, this is a story besides just a CD that needs to be listened or heard by people, but also needs to be told to people. And it just inspired us to make the musical from there.
So it's also very family oriented.
Very much so, family oriented. I'll actually be in it and premiering it. And yeah, I think it's a great inspirational, motivational type musical for kids and parents.
What has the reaction been like? Was your family aware that you were going through these kinds of challenges as you were growing up, or was this kind of a new discovery for them with the album?
That's a good question. I don't think I've ever been asked that. I think my mom for sure. I'm actually one of five kids, and there's 10 years between me and the next youngest. So to a point I had them when I was very young, but then to a point I almost became like an only child because there was that much of a difference, and at that point they had moved on with their lives. So my mother was definitely always a big supporter of me and trying to help me. And I think that's one of the reasons why she put me into acting and singing, was to overcome some of those shyness qualities that I had as a little kid.
What would you say success looks like for you with this album?
For me, hopefully this is just a start for me to start creating another lane, another avenue for Howie from the Backstreet Boys. Backstreet Boys is always going to be my #1 for me in life. But as we're getting older, we are having a chance to talk and sing about different things and, express different things. And this, for me, was something that I feel like, as I am a proud father now of 2 kids, a 10-year-old and a 6-year-old, life for me has changed. There's some things that I want to sing about that were probably different when I was in my 20s, and some different subjects. And hopefully, like I said, it's turning into something that bigger than I expected it. With the musical now coming out, and we're hopefully talking about maybe some more lanes of maybe an animated version of this, or me possibly doing a book with it possibly. So there's a lot of different podcasts. There's a lot of different avenues that we're talking about trying to explore.
Tickets are on sale now for a limited run of Howie D Back in the Day. It debuts at the Rose Theater in Omaha, Nebraska at the end of January. You can get more information about the musical and Howie's new album at howied.net. And here's a fun fact. One of Howie's co-writers on the album and the play is Lisa St. Louis. She's a Broadway singer and performer from right here in St. Louis. Oh. I thought that was so cool.
That's really neat.
Yeah, but we wanted to make sure that Howie also got to taste a little piece of St. Louis. He's a big foodie, self-described foodie,
really?
Which is our people.
Yeah, that kind of people.
Yeah, so we of course presented him with my favorite St. Louis food, Gooey Butter Cake, and here's what he thought. You're a big foodie. Actually, we did know that.
Yes,
and you've already had barbecue.
Yes.
But have you had
Sugar
Gooey Butter Cake? Because I'm new here, and this is my absolute favorite St. Louis food.
Really?
Yes.
I have not even heard of it before. Definitely gonna take a picture of this. How he eats is getting updated here. You go first.
All right.
All right.
I'll show you how it's done.
I was gonna say.
I'm not shy about eating on the show, so our viewers won't be surprised by this. It's so good. I don't even know how to describe it. I'm really curious to see how you describe it. It's very sweet.
Okay. So prepare myself for having sweetness right here.
Yeah, are you ready for a sugar rush?
Mmm.
Yeah?
That is really good.
Yeah?
Gooey butter cake. I'm all over it.
I'm all over it.
He's a fan, I can tell.
Yes.
Good.
Just a small little bite. I just want to take the whole thing. Like, oh, I love that stuff.
Oh, it's so good. I want some now. Where was that from?
That was from Park Avenue Coffee. That's one of my favorite ones.
Yes, for sure.